Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing, Palm Springs? How's everybody feeling? Good. Thank you all so very much for coming today to the celebration of life for the one, the only Colton Ford. Glenn Ford. Girl, I thought we could work this out.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
So is it Glenn Circassian or is it Colton Ford?
It's both.
Hold for applause.
Hold for applause. Yes. Perfect. That went well. Great. Off to a good start. And when Colton passed, we both immediately felt called to create this evening. He was so many things in his life. He was such a rich tapestry of a man and an important figure in our gay community worldwide. And we knew that we had to do something special for him. So I'm so grateful that everyone who helped make this happen did, and that we survived this past month getting this thing to the stage, and that all of you amazing people, friends, family, and community are here. Thank you.
So thank you for being here. You know, Glenn's passing, it's as unfortunate as it is, it brings us all together, because if we look at it, all we have is right now. Celebrate the people next to you, behind you, and beside you. If you're feeling some kind of way, we are, she is, they are, and the people back there are. So feel those feels, because you're in a safe zone, and this is where we do that. Tonight's going to be chock full of live tributes, live performances, jokes, banter, memories, and storytelling. And it's going to be incredibly extra, because for those of you who knew Glenn, he was incredibly extra.
Yes, Glenda.
Ron
We're
knows.
talking about Glenda
Ron knows
now.
Anybody knows Glenda? Anybody know Glenda?
The good witch of the sass.
After a
That
Prosecco
one.
or two, you really know,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. Wicked sense of humor. So naughty. So please feel free to have fun, hoot and holler, sing along, and have a gay old time. Now, I just want to see who's here. Do we have the family here? Is this the Sukeesian clan here? Make some noise, make some noise. Are we right here?
Thank you for being here. Raise
Raise your hands. Is it this whole row right here? Oh my gosh. So who is here? Who is here?
Denise.
Sister-in-law Denise, who we're going to be
Brother,
seeing on the
husband,
big screen
brother.
later. Here.
We're the entourage of the brother.
The entourage of the brother. You have a fabulous entourage.
You
So
roll
you
well.
are
You roll
Glenn's brother. And your name is Regan. Everyone, please give a round of applause to their beautiful family. Where did you all come from? LA. Oh my God, how's the traffic on the 10? Okay, good. Well, you made it. Thank God.
Anybody coming from Cathedral City?
Hope you brought
Las
your
Palmas.
passport. And what about
North Palm Springs.
friends of Glenn? Make some noise.
Who knew Glenn?
Who knew Glenda?
Any fans of Colton? Fans
Any
of Colton?
fans? Colton fans? And how many of you are just here for the free air conditioning? Thank you, PSCC, because they are cranking it. And you know people be skimping out on the air conditioning right about now in Palm
Right about
Springs.
now.
So thank you for that. So what do you say we get this celebration of life on the road, darling?
Should we go from the beginning? From the very first of the start? Should
That's
we
a
do
very
it?
good place to
Let's do
start.
it.
Childhood. Oh, wait, not yet. Right? Sure, why
These
not?
are... Hello. We knew this was going to happen.
Everything went seamlessly all day.
Seamlessly. We were thanking him from above. It's like, girl, thank you.
Glenn is here because all day, I mean, nothing, you never do something like this and everything goes right, okay? Everything has gone perfectly today, except the one moment that I threw shade on his name. I was sitting at the booth telling them about a video that's going to play later, and I said, you know, behind closed doors, Glenn was a theater nerd goofball. Everything went out. Like, we had to restart the system. So we've got Glenn, he's on a throne. He's, you know, we're doing
He's
all
wherever
the
he
things.
wants to be.
Yes.
In your
yes.
lap, on your face, wherever. So I went there. Oh, we have a child here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I gotta
Edit,
learn
edit,
eventually.
edit.
All right. So where are we?
Ron Schrader, a friend of Glenn's from childhood, has flown in from DC. He was instrumental in making tonight happen. Give Ron a round of applause before he comes up. He sent some sent some photos ahead, and I made a video with some childhood memories of him and Glenn in school with friends. Let's watch that, and we'll listen to Ron Schrader speak.
Enjoy.
Take two. Ladies and gentlemen, Ron Schrader.
I love the way they show that right before I'm supposed to come out here and speak. Thank you. My name is Ron Schrader. Before I start, I just want to say to everyone who organized this event and the volunteers and the people who pulled it all together, thank you so much. You have done a beautiful job. We've got a beautiful party for Glenn, and I know he would have loved this. So Glenn is my longest friendship. I've known him for 58 years. And what I think I'd like to do, if it's okay, is I'd like to share my first memory of Glenn, and I'd like to share my final memory of Glenn. And just a couple of bullet points in between there. But so we met in kindergarten. And my earliest memory of Glenn is that he had taken a stick about that long and he stuck it in the foot of his shoe, and so the stick was sticking out of the shoe. He's, admiring it, looking at it, and he taps me on the shoulder and points to it, and I said, "What is it?" And he said, "My mom didn't get all the apple seeds out of the apple, and now my feet are growing roots." And I freaked out. I started screaming. I ran home. I'm like, "Mommy, this is getting bad." And I tell her the whole story, and she says, "Oh, honey, Glenn he's just playing with you. He's just joking." And I thought, what kind of sick person would make up a joke about something as horrific as that? And spoiler alert, it was Glenn. So that is how our friendship began. And then from first grade through sixth grade, we went to different elementary schools. So it wasn't really until junior high and high school that we started to connect again. And by then, Glenn was kind of the it boy. He was, besides being beautiful, which he was always beautiful, from the day I was born, the kid was beautiful. Sometimes I would say, I hang out with you so I look better. You know how like good-looking people hang out with ugly people? Well, you're my ugly person. We would laugh. But so he, by the time we got to high school and junior high, he was already sort of established as a singer. And the thing I want people to really know most about Glenn is that he was always a singer first. Before he did anything else, whatever else he may have accomplished, he was a singer first and then a songwriter second. And people who say, "Oh, he tried this after he made other accomplishments," it wasn't true. This was his heart and soul. And by high school, he was getting the leads in the musicals, and he had the solos and the choir concerts, and he would put on shows and everything. And this kid, he was like the next Donny Osmond. We thought, this was back when Donny Osmond was really popular, and we thought, you are going to be the next Donny Osmond. You're amazing. And so we graduate, we really got close in high school, I think is when we really sort of found our friendship. And I forgave him for the horrific story he told me in kindergarten. But after high school, we would kind of hang out a lot. We would have a lot of proximity and, a block of years, and then we'd kind of go our separate ways. And he would go on tour in Taipei, or one of us would move, or something would happen. And then we'd come back together, and then we'd kind of grow apart and come back together. So our friendship grew like this over the years. But every time we got back together, it was like no time had passed. And we would just marvel at how wonderful it was for us to be back together again. And, as Glenn's accomplishments grew and his notoriety grew, I watched him, and he always managed it with such grace. I was always so impressed. He was lovely with people who wanted to take pictures with him. He was wonderful with his fans. And I remember one time, he lived with us for a while in DC. And I remember one time he went out with a very famous person whose name I won't say, but come see me later if you want the details. And somebody had asked that famous person if they could have a photo while they were at Tinder, and the famous person said, "No, I'm not doing any photos today, but I will give you a hug if you like." And, it turns out the people actually didn't want a hug. They wanted a photo. And Glenn was so mad about that. I remember him coming home and just being like, Jesus, he was mortified that, you couldn't do that one thing for your fan. And he was always really, really good about never being that way and always making a real effort to show people how much he appreciated them. And I think it was because he didn't get in his head a lot about the things he did. He was an icon. He was, some would say a legend, but it never really got in his head because he was a whole person. He wasn't just an accomplishment. And he would have, more to him than just that. And I always really admired that about him. The other thing I loved about Glenn is that, like everybody, he had his fair share of good times, he had his fair share of bad times, he had his wins, he had his losses, his defeats. But the thing about Glenn is that he never stayed defeated. No matter what life threw at him, he would feel the weight of the defeat in the moment. He wasn't immune to pain, but he never stayed there. He always got back up, he dusted himself off, and he kept going. And that's one of the things I always really, really admired and loved about him. And that kind of leads me to my final memory of Glenn. So the last time I saw him, give me a minute here. Last time I saw him was in March. We got to see him in How to Succeed, and How to Succeed was delicious, and it was a delicious show, and it was so fun watching him be up on stage and doing his thing. And we spent a couple of days in the desert, and he was with us for the 2 days, and we hung out a lot. And I will tell you that having known him, all our lives, Glenn was happy in a way that I hadn't seen in a long time. And I really believe that when he came here, he found his family, he found his friend family, he had people around him, and he was happy and he loved what he was doing. And he left us way too soon, but he left happy, and I'll be forever grateful for that. So thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ron Schrader. I was back there doing this right here, honey, getting them tears to hold back. Like we said, we have some friends and family of Glenn's here tonight. They drove in, and we have Denise, his sister-in-law, who sent ahead a video tribute, and we're gonna watch that now. Or family photos before.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I've been day came suddenly. Why he had to go, I don't know. He wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now alone for yesterday. Love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away.
And ladies and gentlemen, Denise Mears.
Hello, I'm Denise, Glenn's sister-in-law. Thank you all so much for being here to celebrate Glenn's life. If they gave an award for the hottest brother-in-law, I would win hands down. And if there was a contest for having the brother-in-law with the kindest heart, well, I'm winning that one too. And if there was an award for having the most humble, modest brother-in-law, well, one of you is winning that one. Glenn was my husband's half-brother, but there was nothing half about Glenn. If he loved and cared about you, he was all in. If you were lucky enough to call him a friend, he was 100% your friend. He gave everything he had to his career, to his fitness, and to his friends and family. I will forever miss our pre-party champagne before our annual Christmas Eve party, where we would catch up on gossip, everyday life, which recently started including our aches and pains, and crack each other up till we were turning red. Everyone loved Glenn. He was an awesome uncle to our son. My friends all loved him, often inviting him to their houses for holidays, or asking hopefully, will Glenn be there? If Glenn was around, you knew there was going to be a lot of laughter and a little sarcasm. Oh wait, sorry, I got that backwards. He could be snarky at times. Glenn personified passion and persistence, never giving up on his lifetime dream of making music. Music that made you dance, or think, or just a really great cover tune. He was always singing, or if he wasn't singing, he was humming. Music was in his blood. I believe he's out there, still singing his heart out, in a place where every song is a #1 hit, and every performance gets a standing ovation. Glenn, till we meet again, I'll keep listening from down here. I love and miss you.
Thank you, Denise. Thank you, family and friends, for being here.
Thank you so much. So as has been said, music and singing was Colton Glenn's first love. And before he was the pop star, international pop star that we all know and love, Glenn was in a musical group here in California. And fortunately / unfortunately, obviously, when the news of his passing became public, some members of that group came forward and wanted to come join us tonight on stage and toast him and share about what it was like working with him in those very, very early years as a performer. We're so lucky tonight to have his close collaborators, Debbie and Bill. Please welcome them to the stage. All right. Take your time, Jesus Christ. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. All right. They made it. All right. Give them some. Spot on them. Spot on them, please.
Hi. I'm Bill, not Debbie. Thank you. I'm Bill Bruner, and this is Debbie Davis Byer. Am I coming over there?
I think we're supposed to be here because there's going to be a.
Okay. So, first of all, I was supposed to get a wind machine, but I don't see one. You know, I'm not Stevie Nicks.
You asked. For
So I met Glenn. I'll be really quick. I'd say the early '80s. I remember it was before the Olympics because I moved back to Chicago in '84, and Debbie and I sang at this. Like a dinner house, a variety show place called Baxter Street in Newport Beach, Costa Mesa. And I was already trying to leave. I'd been there 5 years. And, I was trying to be David Bowie or Linda Ronstadt. And, and this new guy was hired. There were 6 singers and we had a band. And he was tall and younger than me and cute and talented as all get out. And it was Glenn. He was probably 20 maybe.
19, I think.
19, I was 23, 24. And he kind of took my place. So I remember wanting to resent him, but I couldn't because he was too nice, And I liked him because he looked like David Naughton, the Dr. Pepper guy, and the American Werewolf in London guy. So I thought, oh, okay, we'll try this out. And that was how I met Glenn. Real quick, sometime in the 90s, I had already moved here, and I was reading about how Glenn became Colton, and there was a movie that came out. And he was doing a private appearance at this resort. It was before there was Warm Sands, called the Villas. So I went over there after work, and I see Glenn floating on a raft in the pool, and everyone around him just admiring him. So I go up to the pool. I'm in work clothes, right? I'm like, Glenn, and he looked at me. He was like, Bill, they know me as Colton. It's like, okay, and that that was probably 20 years ago. Then he moved here, and I'd see him at Starbucks, and we'd talk occasionally. I didn't see him that much, but what I remember about Glenn was his smile. It was completely real and authentic. So
true. Oh my God.
And then this is Debbie.
No, I second that for sure. And like Bill said, we met at Baxter Street Dinner Theater in Newport Beach, and it was like the place to, if you were coming out of high school or even college, if you auditioned and got it in at Baxter Street, it was a big thing. And I was there a little bit after you, but before Glenn. And when Glenn came in and auditioned, you could do solos and everything. We instantly became the duet couple. So that's the couple that we were. But I had such a crush on him. And we dated for a little bit, unbeknownst to me. And then he's like, well, you know what, Deb? He goes, Debbie. He always called me Debbie. He said, I love you. You're so cute. Let's go out. But let me just tell you something. So anyway, there was that. But anyway, and we sang there for a while. And then there was another guy that sang there, Steven, and they were close. And they said, let's start a vocal jazz group. And so we joined the jazz choir at Golden West College in Huntington Beach. We met Darcy, who was our other female, and you'll see in some pictures in this brief slideshow here. But it was his idea, and we started. He said, I want to be like Manhattan Transfer. And so we did a lot of their songs, but we also did our own arrangements of other songs and everything. And we traveled and toured all over the place. We played Vegas a bunch, opened for Waylon Flowers and Madam, whatever David Copperfield, Rich Little. We did a bunch of Vegas runs. We had a residency at Nucleus Nuance in WeHo, West Hollywood, and Luna Park, and we just had so many adventures. We ran out of gas on the way to Vegas, and we thought we'd go dressed because in case we were late for the sound check. And so there we are on the side of the road in my great uncle's Buick Wildcat, and Glenn's in his tails with spats, and we're in our 40s dresses waiting because this is pre-cell phone. Anyway, and then we continued to write songs together and really grow up together. We had ups and downs in our friendship. We went through mostly ups though, but we had many, we went through dogs, lovers, money, no money, all of that. So I love him with from my childhood, I feel like, because it was such a long time. So anyway, here's some pictures of that's High Society. And this is the song that's in the background we wrote together, and I love his voice on this. That's us.
Fading, fade out.
And then there's just some, get-togethers.
Falling without a doubt. White haze, dark clouds.
That's my dog.
Get me out. Know the road, but lost my way somehow. No, I don't know what can save me now. Lights out, where is my lighthouse? 'Cause right now I'm drifting away, sinking, hopelessly thinking my lighthouse can guide the way.
Sing vibrato.
Same vibrato.
Yeah, you do.
All right. So this song we're gonna sing along with Glenn. So this is one of the songs that we co-wrote, and it's one of his singles, "Will I Ever Be," that he released. And Bill and I are going to kind of be the Bee Gees, not Bee Gees like the Bee Gees, but the background singers, and sing along with it.
I want to be the BG.
I've been sure to cry on. I've had you back all the way. I've been the one you rely on, but I've never been the one to stay. Will I ever be someone that you want? Someone that you want. Will I ever be someone that you need? Someone that you need. Will I ever be someone that you love? Will I ever be? Will I ever be? Will I ever be? You shed your tears and your secrets,
Locked up my broken heart. You left me with all the pieces, but I can't keep together what keeps us apart.
will I ever be someone that you want?
Someone that you want.
Will I ever be someone that you need?
Someone that you need.
Will I ever be someone that you love?
Tell me, baby,
will I ever be? Will I ever be? Ooh, you want it on me. Not gonna leave you lonely. A lifetime guarantee. I guarantee. And when you need some love and tenderness to get you through, I do what I gotta do. Now isn't that something that you want? Isn't that something that you need? Something that you need. Now isn't that something you love? Tell me, baby, will I ever be? Now, won't you give me what I need? Will I ever be someone that you want? Will I ever be the one you need? Oh yeah, someone that you need. Oh baby, 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 don't you know that I love you? So tell me, will I ever be? Will I ever be?
Thank you.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Please give some love to Debbie and Bill. I love you, honey. That was so beautiful. You said Manhattan Transfer. That was what inspired your group? Colton and I were working on a cabaret show together, and he wanted to do that "My Cat Fell in the Well" song.
You sang that. So I was going to tell that I forgot. Sorry to use your.
No, please,
Okay.
please.
We we used to rehearse at my house with my single mom all the time, and my mom finally, after about 2 weeks of rehearsing this new song, that's so funny that you said that. She said, "If I am trying to sleep, if I hear, oh, pussy, 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 oh, kitty, 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 my cat fell in the well," one more time, she goes, "I am kicking you all out."
That's the thing. That was what he wanted to, one of the things he wanted to do in our show. That's the kind of bonkers human being he was. Yes. So I'm sorry. It's an emotional day. I have to have my cue cards to keep me together. Okay. So we've talked about Glenn, the singer. Now let's talk about Colton Ford, the pop star icon. Now, as a young queen living in New York City in the late 90s and early 2000s, of course, I knew who the hell Colton Ford was because he was everywhere and he was an icon in New York City. But I think there's something that I want to say about him in a larger scale. He's an important figure in our gay history and also in the recording industry history because he was an out gay man signed to a major record label, Virgin Records, with a top 10 Billboard dance chart hit. Right? Give some props for that. That is a huge deal, unapologetically. Now, this is the audience participation part of the show. Let me hear you name some other out gay men who were signed to major record labels and had top 10 hits. Adam Lambert, okay, that's one. Well, Elton wasn't out in the beginning. Come on now, that's generous. But you see my point, right? He's in a very small group of important gay men. I knew him in New York City. I always idolized him for his huge talent, and I'm talking about the singing. He wasn't my type. Somebody here has to say that tonight. Jesus. And I never imagined that I would become friends and collaborators with him so many years later. Some of his career highlights were touring with Cyndi Lauper and the B-52s. He had, yes, make some love, make some noise, make some love too, honey. Oh wait, stay on me. Make some love. And he did some duets with some pretty famous dance divas. Well, that is the wrong card. You can't have it all. I got the body, not the brains. All right. In 2013, Colton released his third studio album, The Way I Am. On that album, and that was the album that you just showed, right? The photo was the album cover and the songs you co-wrote. On that album, he had a duet with chart-topping dance music icon, Ultra Nate, who has kindly sent in a personal video message. Enjoy.
Hi everybody, I'm Ultra Nate, and I wanted to take a second to say hello to everyone and send my love and many condolences to the family of our dear friend Glenn, also known as Colton Ford. And as everyone knows who knows him, he was talented, he was beautiful and vibrant, and an amazing, amazing person, and a serious loss to all of us. We will never forget the beautiful soul. Always funny and snarky and cool and fit and fabulous. Gonna miss you so much, my friend. Sending my love out to everyone, and thank you for celebrating his life, because he truly was a very special person. Much love.
Much love. Thank you so much, Ultra. Have you guys been enjoying his music playing over the videos? His music is incredible. And all of it is available for download on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever you get your music. Now I have a question.
We're available at the altar out front.
Oh my God, did you guys see the memorabilia altar? With all the CDs, posters, all this stuff. that the family has generously given to us to give away to you, his friends.
Please take one,
and
take
fans.
all.
Please enjoy that after the show. But I have a question for the family. Who gets the royalties? I know he told me about a 15-cent
awfully
check he
quiet.
got recently. I hope one of you is inheriting the royalties. You know, times are tough. All right, moving on. And now a special message from two of our dearest desert darlings, Colton's friends and collaborators. You know them as comedian Devin Green and platinum record producer Ned Douglas, who were friends and collaborators of Colton's. Enjoy.
Ned and I were blessed to perform with Colton because he loved playing with young talent. Colton had that rare gift. He could make a grocery list sound soulful. He wasn't just an R&B singer. He was a total vibe. He was the real deal. He could take a simple note and make it cry, shout, flirt, sometimes all at once.
He poured his soul into every lyric, every performance. But more than that, he poured his heart into the people around him. He wasn't just chasing the spotlight. He made sure we all felt a little brighter just being near him.
He would come over for lunch, obviously leave hungry, but our rehearsals would last for hours. He wanted perfection, and we loved him for that. You know, his body would start moving before the song began, and he would say, I just need to feel it before I sing it. And trust me, Colton felt every single note.
He truly brought soul to everything he touched, especially the microphone, always hitting just the right note, both in song and in life.
We love you, Colton.
Thank you, Devin Green and Ned Douglas. A few of us were working on a few things with Glenn, or Colton as we know him. I was about to shoot I do photography. I was about to shoot the cover art for him and Honey Davenport's new single. Honey was going to rap on it. They were working just days before he passed on it, and we'll see Honey later on. However, Billy Lamore was also working on a cabaret show with him. They were deep into it, and some of the songs we're hearing tonight are songs that they were going to do together. So Billy definitely wanted to make time for that and hold space for that music. And as some of you know, I did work with Glenn in the industry for a few years. It's undeniable his legendary status in that realm of entertainment. And I'm thrilled that we were able to share times there as well as continue our friendship 25 years later. And Billy Lamore is coming out. She's going to do a few songs and just enjoy her talent. Ladies and gentlemen, Billy Lamore.
The time, 2:15 a.m. The place, the barracks on Highway 111. I was a hot redhead and it was a cold night. This is my story, and I ain't ashamed to tell it. I was hungry, tired, and looking for love. I was just a pilgrim in the hot pursuit of love. Wandering from disco to disco, that's all my life was. Suddenly he pressed up against me, felt warm and smooth, doing it instant, like you were my moment of darkness through. Oh, my night in black leather, hold me tight and love me forever. It's on your fingers, love in your heart, in black leather, we'll never part. Only you can shine a light on the dark side of my mind. And your evil sweetness leaves a trail of lovers behind. When you crushed into your heart, I
Feel just like a queen. I'm your willing victim. Tell me all my life, where have you been? Oh my night in black leather, hold me tight and love me forever. Rings on your fingers, love in your heart. I'm in black leather, we'll never part. You know, he smells just like a brand new car because everything he owns is leather. Leather shirt, leather hats, leather gloves, leather socks, leather chaps, leather pants, leather socks, leather cap, leather coat, leather wrap, leather vest, leather ring, leather we'll never hide in black leather, we'll never part. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, Billy Lamore.
You like the video?
We love and mind of Black Leather.
I'm so glad you did. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Michael.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You
Billy
also
Lamore.
provided the riding crop. No, it's a
Flogger.
flogger. That's it. I'm a good girl.
Tracy, what is it called? Thank you. Tracy. Tracy, everybody. Cameo. When Billy and I began preparing for this show, again, we reached out to a few people. Many sent video tributes. We thank them so much. And the next video we see is from Frankie Valente, better known as Johnny Hazard. He was an exclusive in the porn industry for many years, and he sent a video. He's living in Maine. He couldn't make it, but he has aged incredibly. Johnny Hazard, Frankie Valente.
Hello, everybody. My name is Frankie, aka Johnny Hazard, and Stephen asked me to do this video to share my memory of Glenn, Colton Ford. I remember. Oh yeah, I was tie-dyeing. Sorry, I'm not injured. I remember when I first got on the scene, I was like, oh, I want to work with him, and you know, when I met him in person, it was just that much better because, as you all know, he was just one of the most authentic and genuine guys that I've ever met. I mean, industry aside, he was just always so, what you saw is what you got, all the time. I knew him for 20 plus years. We worked, you know, we did the whole porn thing together, and then we had the layer together, and then we went on to just become friends and have a relationship, and you know, he was always the same. Like, he was just always the same, and that's just so, as I've gotten older, you realize just how valuable and how much you appreciate, you know, someone who's just genuine, who's just not acting to be anything. We lost a good one, especially when someone like that is taken so unexpectedly. It just guts you. It just fucking guts you. But I take comfort in knowing that his memory is strong. I don't think there's anybody that would disagree with my feelings or my statements or my experiences. I think fondly on those years. I don't regret a fucking thing, and I met some amazing people and had some great experiences, and Glenn was a very, very, very big part of all that for me. So to hear that he has left us is very, very sad, but you know, he's got a good place in my heart. He was good to me. He was good to a lot of people, and that says a lot. So I bid you all good day, and just find you all well. All right, bye-bye.
Thank you, Frankie. Frankie and Glenn, or Colton, worked on a show called The Lair. It was on Here TV. Hero, oh yeah. We were going to show a few clips from it and acknowledge his acting career, and it was amazing and comical at the same time. And we had a good time with that, but with time consumption, we decided, you know what, let's move ahead with a lot of his music. And this next video we have is from legendary director Shishi LaRue.
Hey everybody, it's Shishi LaRue. Happy Pride, happy everything, wherever you are. I just wanted to give a big kiss and love and a heavenly mwah to my baby Glenn, aka Colton Ford. One of the favorites, my favorite people I ever worked with in this industry. He was amazing, he was professional, he was hot. Everybody wanted to work with him. Everybody wanted to be his friend, including myself. And he was great at both jobs. Friend, performer, trainer, everything. And thank you all for your words of encouragement when Glenn passed. And thank you, Billy Lamore, for doing this. And thank you, Palm Springs. Thank you, everybody. And I love you, Glenn. I know you're being a hot slut out there.
Thank you, Shishi LaRue. That was one of those moments where, like, do we leave that in? Oh, yes, we leave that in, right? Because he is, currently, I'm sure. In my 7 years of doing photography here in Palm Springs, I've shot a lot of beautiful people. I've had the privilege of doing that, but the person I've shot the most absolutely is Glenn. Together we threw a party at the Barracks called Privates. Each time we did a campaign of advertisement. We did a photo booth. I have got more pictures of that man than I can count, and I'm thrilled to have those because going through them for this next montage was not only emotional, but it was rewarding because I spent so much amazing time with such an incredible, incredible friend and incredible man. Thank you. This is my photography of Glenn. Sing to yourself. Take two. This is our private party. We did about 12 of these parties at the Barracks. They were amazing. I love Glenn, Tony, and Mark Nelson. We had the best time. Doug, if you want to play that original one, we can, if it's too much trouble. And I can go ahead and speak. Okay. We love versatility up in here. We love going with the flow and not stepping off the stage. Okay, yeah. So I think I'm going to speak. I'm going to do my share of Colton. We've known each other for 25 years. We first met on the set of an All Worlds video that was shot here in Warm Sands at the original All Worlds Resort. And I know we have one child in the audience. It's about to get a little juicy. Yeah, you want to go there? Let's go there. So yeah, Doug Jeffries, shout out to him if he hears the story. He was directing the film, and I love how I say movie and film for the porn industry. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. I like to glamorize it a little bit. So we met on the set. Glenn Colton, by the way, I was meeting him as Colton. He was He had won a competition on stage in front of a live audience of 100 people, and a celebration ensues afterwards. So fade out, fade in, and there's about 3 couples on stage celebrating in front of said audience of 100 people live. And here I go, somehow up here on stage, I don't know how, the magic of Hollywood. And we had a really good time. I'll leave the juicy details to maybe a cocktail afterwards. I'll tell you over that. But we had a really good time. And through the industry, he was one of the only people I really kept in great contact with. Through the years, he would come by the house with boyfriends, and my husband Jacques would cook us dinner, and my dogs loved him, and I loved keeping that rapport with him throughout the years. When he called me and said he wanted to move to Palm Springs to start training at Steel Gym, and if I thought it would be a good idea, I was like, absolutely. Not only because aesthetically you're beautiful, you're smart, you know your fitness, and you are Colton Ford. And I was completely right. He showed up to the gym, everyone was agape, mouth, and otherwise. And, it was, thank you. It was just, I didn't pay him. It was just beautiful seeing him every single day. He would walk by, girl, I got a cookie. I'm like, I got you. And he was so focused on his fitness clients. It was one after the other. And it was just amazing to see him thrive. When he brought me on for privates, it was such a thrill to not only be involved with the community, but to be creative with Lynn. And we shot poster after poster, campaign after campaign, and it was such an amazing time creating narratives, setting up for the parties, spending time together, having him drive me fucking crazy, having him almost quit 3 times. That's a whole nother story. But through it all, we remained amazing friends. There was nothing we couldn't get through. And I definitely miss those times of that. And thank you so much for being here. You know, when you come together for something like this, you don't know how it's going to go. You hope people will support and people will care and people will want to pay their respects. And I'm so thankful that we changed venues and had this amazing theater tonight at the Camelot, at the Cultural Center. Please clap for them. They've been amazing. One little last story. Glenn and I would often close a place in Cathedral City called Barrel District Pizza. And people know it's good food, but over a few Prosecco's and Pinot Noir for myself, Linda would appear and entertain the troops that was hanging out with us that late at night. But again, we were closing the restaurant, so it was him and I and the waiters trying to get us out. And, sidebar, Glenn preferred indica over sativa. So, FYI, if you got it, smoke it later. But all the things that I read about Colton after he had passed, and of course there was tons of clickbait, was his net worth. And I thought, $2 million. So let me get this straight. So of all the nights we went to Barrel District and we had a good old time, a couple of drinks, split that bill, each time. I thought, bitch, you couldn't fucking cover a bill or two? Girl, you got the coins. What type? However, he didn't, and here we are talking about it, and I thank him for that because I wouldn't have a story if he didn't. Glenn, I miss you, baby, so much. Do we have videos? Do we have frames? Yep. Let's try it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. This is actually a video we shot at, I guess my photos aren't going to be shown. It's all good. Check my Instagram. This is Handled It. We shot this last year at Barracks, and this was shot at Snapshot Studios. I shot this with Brian Guzman, and I shot all this footage here. And then we get to the Barracks. You may see a few familiar faces.
Why you got me tripping so bad? Make me wanna show you how we're gonna handle all that.
So quick story, this is about to fade out, but I'm filming through a glass wall, and they get a little carried away here, which is, go-go dancers do that. And I'm filming, and I turn around all of a sudden, and the entire dance floor is like behind me watching. And it was a magical moment, but it was very explicit, so no wonder they were watching. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you.
Goodness. All right, so we've talked about Glenn Sukezian and Colton Ford, the pop star, the singer, and we've talked about part of his acting repertoire. But Glenn was also a stage actor. He had many acting credits from stage to screen, but most recently he dazzled Palm Springs audiences as Mr. Bratt in the Revolution Stage Company's production of How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. Anybody come see the show? Thank you so much for coming. So people love BTS behind the scenes. And I know all of you that are fans of Colton are probably wanting to see a different kind of BTS tonight. But I have some really funny footage of Colton in the ladies' dressing room. He would come in our dressing room every night before the show and clown around. He was such a goofball, which I don't know if people really know that about him. And you really see the joy that Ron was speaking about earlier when he talked about how Glenn was going through a difficult time and the light came back in his eyes. It happened during that show and we all saw it. And so you'll get to see a little bit of that here, as well as him and I backstage before one of our performances recently at Keisha D's fundraiser. Please make some applause for Keisha D, who is currently recovering from a stroke. And so send her some love, send her some magic. All right, enjoy.
Ah.
What a goober!
Down at Fraggle Rock.
Oh my God, the voice of an angel. Oh, we're on. Oh, we're on. And we are. Yes, so as been said, Colton and we bonded very much during the production of How to Succeed in Business. And that fire came back in him as a performer. He was so excited about all of the new shows for next season that he was going to audition for. And we started working together on creating a duet cabaret show that we were either going to call Love Making Duets or Bananas and Coconuts, A Tale of Two Tropical Fruits. Fortunately, we never found out what the title would be. TBD. And I'm so grateful that I got to spend time with him every week, sitting on his couch, him sharing with me all the music he loved, me sharing with him all the things I loved, finding where we met in the middle, finding where we could try new things and stretch a little by collaborating. And when he passed, there was a rehearsal on my books, because we met every Friday at 6:30, because he got off at work at 5:30. And there was a rehearsal on my books after he passed, and it was just, when I got that notification. And so I said, I'll rehearse in his honor. And so I'm going through the songs, and I'm like, oh my God, some of these songs are really appropriate for this unfortunate situation that we're in now with him gone. Knight in Black Leather, obviously, because he was a sex symbol. But this next one, it's not a love song at all, and it's not a duet either. But he showed me the video of Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson singing this song as a duet, and the passion and the it looked like they were going to make love right there on that stage. And Colton wanted to do that, so of course I said yes. And that's all I knew of this song, was this like hot, steamy love duet. So after he passed, I was listening to the original. Oh my God. This is about loss and missing someone. So I'm gonna do it now for Colton. Since you've been away, I've been down and lonely. Since you've been away, I've been thinking of you. Try to understand the reasons you left us. What were you going through? Ooh, I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. Ooh, I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. As I look around, I see things that remind me. Just to see you smile made my heart fill with joy. I still recall all those dreams we shared together. Where did you run to? Oh, I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. Ooh, I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. Sometimes I wonder, I didn't understand just where you were trying to go. Only you knew the plan. I was glad to be there, and you let me in. But now you've gone away, boy. I feel so broken hearted. Knew that the day we started, that we were meant to be. Only you to let me. I've cried so many tears. Gotta face now all my fears. Won't let time slip away. I need you, boy, here today. There was so much that you gave to our hearts and our souls. And there was so much of your dreams that were left untold. You had so much hope for a brighter day. Why were you our sweet, soulful flower? Plucked away. Tell me why the road turns. Tell me why. Tell me why the road turns.
Billy Lamore.
I think it was better as a hot, steamy duet where we were face to face and about to make out right on the stage. What's happening here? This is choreography, ladies and gentlemen. Applause, please. Okay, so back to how to succeed in business. We were very blessed this year out in the desert theater community that the world-renowned director of the Paper Mill Playhouse for over 20 years, Robert Johansson, relocated here to the desert and generously graced us with his huge talents and directed us in how to succeed in business. Now, Robert asked if he could send in a video, because he's in Korea right now staging some magnificent, I mean, his work is incredible. I won't go into it, but so he sent us a video from Korea talking about what it was like working with Glenn. Enjoy.
Hello, everybody. I had the great good fortune to direct Glenn, aka Colton Ford, in what would turn out to be his final appearance in a musical. He joined us this winter for How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, right here at the Revolution Stage Company. It was a great experience working with Glenn. He was amazing. He knew all his lines before everybody else. He was always on time. He was always prepared. He was rock solid. If you'll pardon the expression, he was the straight man in the company. He had to set up all the other crazy people for their comic bits, and he did an excellent job of it. There was only one problem. Many of the members of the cast, who shall remain nameless, would be appearing in a scene with Glenn, aka Colton Ford, and they would completely go up on their lines. I'd look up and they would be staring mesmerized at Glenn's handsome face. So then I'd ask my assistant to throw them the line, and I'd look over, and he was staring mesmerized at Glenn's handsome face. Glenn, aka Colton Ford, was absolutely the sexiest businessman at the Worldwide Wicked Company. His kindness, his sweetness, his generosity, his dedication will always be remembered. He will be truly missed. And I'm so very sorry that we didn't have many more musicals in our future. I found a little snippet from How to Succeed, and it'll give us a chance to look at Glenn one more time, strutting his stuff. Here it is.
Need a brother's leadership, so please don't you let in. Remember, mediocrity is not a mortal sin. There is not the brotherhood of man, dedicated to giving all. We cast out no tie that binds all human optimize into one brotherhood of man. Oh, what you got in that fraternity, a great big brotherhood of
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, there are some fabulous people in that big finale of the show that are here with us tonight to perform the final of the 3 songs that I'm selected from our cabaret show that Glenn and I were working on. Please welcome to the stage our Mrs. Jones, the lady working on the top of the table, Jenny Carey. Please welcome to the stage, who do we have? Our lead, Finch, Nathan Wilson. And finally, our man of many characters. You are a character. You were Mr. Gatch, you were Mr. Benjamin Burton Ovington III, Mr. Eric Seppala. So the 4 of us actually bonded with Glenn when we were working together, and when this all came about, we knew we had to get together and do something to tribute him. And I'm so grateful that we could bring this song to life, because you will remember when one of those nights when he was kikiing and cuckooing and goofing around in the ladies' dressing room, he was standing in the door and he said, "What about this song?" The name of the song we're about to perform. And I was like, "I don't know that one." Stevie Nicks, Kenny Loggins, who could lose? And so we're able to put it together for him now. I hope you will enjoy.
I begin to think I understand everything we are. You and I will always be forever and ever. I see myself within your eyes, and that's all I need to show me why. Everything I do always leads me home to you. Ever and ever. Day by day, we can see. Carry on. Sweet love flowing on the heavenly light. I've never seen such a beautiful sight. Sweet love flowing almost every night. I know forever we'll be doing it. Sweet love flowing from a heavenly light. I've never seen such a beautiful sight. Sweet love flowing almost every night. I know forever we'll be doing it right. Whenever I call you friend, I believe I come to understand. Everywhere we are, you and I were meant to be forever and ever. Think about the times to come, knowing I will be the lucky one, and never our love will last. I always wanna call you friend. Sweet love throwing us a heavenly light. I've never seen such a beautiful sight. Sweet love flowing almost every night. I know forever we'll be doing it. That's great.
Give them a round of applause.
Lord let me.
Now I know my life is giving me more than memory. Day by day, we can see. Carry on. Sweet love showing us a heavenly light. I've never seen such a beautiful sight. Sweet love flowing almost every night. I know forever we'll be doing it, doing it. Sweet love showing us a heavenly light. I've never seen such a beautiful sight. Sweet love flowing almost every night. I know forever we'll be doing it, doing it, doing it. Sweet love, sweet love, yeah. Sweet love, sweet love, yeah. Sweet, sweet flowing almost every night. Sweet love, yeah. Sweet love.
Thank you, Blue and Moore, and Revolutionary Singers. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Make some noise for Eric Sepala. Take a bow,
Eric.
Eric. Who did all the arrangements for this song? Brilliant. Jenny Carey. Hitting the high notes, reaching up to heaven. Glenn can hear it. And Nathan Wilson. Thank you all so much for joining
Thank you
us.
so much.
Special moment. Oh my goodness. Okay, what did you think about the stained glass photo of... Okay, who loves it? And who was like, girl? Anyway, okay, good. It went over well. I sent it to Steven, and I'm like, okay, I have this vision of this number being like a musical number in the Mighty Gemstones. Does anybody watch that? That's the kind of vibe I was getting for it. And so I was like, what if we can use my boyfriend, Chajip, also known as ChatGPT, to
She's not lying.
to create an image.
Girl,
and,
seriously.
And it did, and I think it turned out pretty great. So that is where are we?
Thank you so much, Billy Lamore and Singers.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Spotlight light. Hey, oh, there you are. What about the jacket, please? Come on, girl. Come on. The fashions, though. Tell us. It's giving, right? It's giving. Thank you so much, Billy. We wanted to incorporate so much tonight, of course. In a 90-minute time zone, we've got to figure things out a little quick. So we wanted to include live music because it's so much of who Glenn was. This next situation we're having on the stage is going to be a video montage. I met with Alan Carvalho, our videographer. Give Alan a round of applause. I know you know him from many events, many a pool party, many a Palm Springs event. He's a gem for things like this. He met me at Steel Gym where Glenn trained, and I met with a handful of his clients, and these are their thoughts on Glenn.
I met Glenn about 3.5 years ago, and within minutes of meeting him, I already knew that I was going to absolutely adore him. He brought such a sunshining spirit to this gym. He was lighthearted and loving and funny and enthusiastic and everything a human being should be. He was my gym bestie. Whenever I was having a hard day, I would look over at Glenn and he would crack a joke or make me smile, and he just made being here such a pleasure.
My name is Maria, and Glenn, the trainer and man who became a friend. It was an unexpected relationship. Glenn saw me. He saw when I was struggling, he knew when I needed to be pushed, and he knew when I was just done. At times, he could get a bit obsessive, especially about his looks, and he loved to gossip. He shared his nicknames for various steel fellows with glee. We talked about everything: life, aging, sex, aging, joy and grief, and aging. He was younger than me and became my cheerleader about the aging part. It's hard to accept that he's gone. A little piece of him will always stay with me.
Hi, I'm John Lewis. I met Glenn about 3 years ago. I had seen him around the gym, didn't know who he was, did not know from Colton Ford. Really, there's not much else to say. I still can't believe he's gone. I just think he's gonna walk through that door any day now. But I miss him, and what else can you say?
My name is Mike Reynolds, and I've been training with Glenn 2.5 years, 4 hours a week. He was a stickler for detail, and every time he would say, "Mike, hold your head up high, shoulders back, show me your big chest, and squeeze my finger in the middle of your back." So let's fast forward to an Atlantis cruise last October, and it's 3 a.m., and I'm dancing with guys half my age, and I'm flagging, and I started to think about Glenn. So head up high, shoulders back, big chest, and feel my finger in the middle of your back. Well, I came back and saw Glenn and told him that story, and I told him, kept my head up high, shoulders back, and I told that I felt touched by an angel in the middle of my back, and he knew that I meant it was him. So Glenn is now singing and dancing with the angels, and heaven is a better place.
My name is Neil. I knew Glenn about 25 years ago in Los Angeles. So the first time I met him, we were wearing exactly the same thing. And I said to him, "Oh my God, people are gonna think we slept together." And he goes, "I wish." And I was like, "Oh my God, I love this man." And I hate the gym. I really hate the gym, but I loved seeing him on Mondays and Fridays. And I'm gutted. I'm gutted, and I'm so sorry to his family. I didn't want to do this. I told my husband I wasn't going to do it, and he said, if you don't do it, Glenn would be so hurt. And that did it. So, I miss you, Glenn. I love you.
Hi, my name is Will, and I have been training with Glenn for the past 3 years, 3 times a week. And he was more than just a trainer to me. He was a coach and a friend and someone that I could definitely confide in. He would tell me that I'm the only one that he would get up at 6 a.m. to train at 7 a.m. for, so that meant a lot to me. And when things got really tough in the gym for me and I would groan, he would say, suck it up. You know, this is serious fitness, you know, in a big Glenn sort of way. I am really, really going to miss him. He was such a great person. A lot of times I didn't even want to work out. I just wanted to come here and see him. And I remember the first time I saw him, and I was like, that is who I want to be when I grow up. And I want to do whatever he tells me to do, right? And to learn from him and to just have a healthier life. I am really going to miss him. I am sorry that this happened to him, and I wish that I was not sitting here having to do this today, but I just want to thank him for everything that he's done, not just for me, but for this gym and for everyone else where he has touched their lives and souls.
My name is Paul, and I first saw Glenn 5 years ago when I joined Steel Gym, and I would stand on the treadmills and watch him because he was one of the trainers that stood out because he not only was in such great shape, but I noticed everybody would talk to him and say hi to him. So I was always impressed with how friendly he was to everyone. I joined with Glenn a year ago, and I am not a morning person at all. I never have been, I never will be. But not only did I get a great workout from him, but he had the ability to make me laugh in the morning, which is really not possible until about noon. And I will miss him more than I even realize right now. But I hope his family knows that he was loved by a lot of people. And I just take a little bit of solace in knowing that his last time on earth, he was doing things that he loved to do, and that was being physically active. So thank you, Glenn.
My name is John Maxwell. I first met Glenn, surprisingly enough, at one of our shared primary care. I was having to recalibrate. And it took his wisdom, his taking me through my paces, being isometrically correct, so that I could rebuild. And we had so many conversations that I could finally start recalibrating and finding myself again. I don't think we fully understand what it is we've lost just yet. Thank you, Glenn, for everything that you've done, for mine and everyone else's behalf.
My name's Rick DeCamp, and
I'm Bob Levine.
And this is a little hard for both of us. Glenn was really a remarkable man. Bob and I both compete in bodybuilding, and we're both 75. And Glenn had a way of constantly being our cheerleader. I mean, it was quietly. He was a quiet man, but he always cared how we did, cared how we prepared, cared how we ate. I mean, he would ask questions about that, and we'd talk about it. He'd give ideas, and we'd oftentimes take them.
Yeah, I've known Glenn for many years. We've been coming here for many years, and Glenn has been here. He's just a part of this gym, and not having him here, something will be missing. Something will be missing forever. And his infectious smile, and he cared, and he was so concerned, and he was like our brother, a brother in iron. and we're going to miss him so much. I can hardly believe he's gone.
The Steel Gym group is a family, whether it's the staff behind the desk, whether it's the management, whether it's the trainers. We're all a family, and losing a family member is tragic. It's hard to wrap your mind around, really.
Thank you so much, Alan. All right, brothers, and thank you for everyone who shared their story with this. The people in this video are amazing. I see them every single day at Steel. I've worked there Monday through Friday. I've managed there for 20 plus years. And the people that train with Glenn were so happy. We have some amazing trainers, and Glenn fell right into that and just succeeded and thrived like I knew he would. Our next speaker is no stranger to the community. She is very well known. Her and Glenn shared space at the gym as training gurus, as well as were incredible friends and confidants. But I'm going to let her tell you the rest of the story. Ladies and gentlemen, Jill Langham.
Wow. Hi, everyone. I've been sitting here for the last hour and a half and listening to all the amazing things said about this incredible human being that we all knew in so many different ways. I think that the way in which Glenn affected me the most is he taught me about intimacy, which I think is what we've all been really talking about in many different forms. As Stephen said, I met Glenn at the gym. The first day that he came there, I was working out by myself, and Stephen was walking around the gym, and he stopped, and I don't exactly know what Stephen said to him, but he somehow said, "Oh, and this is Jill, our trainer," and he looked at me and he goes, "I want to know you." And I said, "Well, I want to know you." and that's really where it all started. We just were two old souls that had come together at a time when clearly we were meant to meet and be with one another. And from the get-go, everything just flowed. We would go out together, and our first time out, I actually wrote about this in a couple of my posts. We walked into one of the bars on Arenas, and within a second, if somebody wasn't saying hi to him, they were saying hi to me, and then to me and him, back and forth. And we looked at each other and we went, "Oh my God, this has never happened before." Usually most people that go out with us are like, "Oh my God, is there anyone that's not going to say hello to you?" And we have to go, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." And here we were, these two people who were like, "Oh my God, I totally get you." And he just had this way with people that I know you all have probably realized by now, between his photos, his beautiful family memories, the people who spoke before from Steel Gym. He affected us all. He was the most authentic human being I've ever known. And he was happy, he was joyful, he was sad, he was quiet, he was everything. There's a photo, which I'm sorry that we don't have here to show, but it was taken at Thai Smile, and we were having dinner, and behind him, if you can imagine the scene, there's a beautiful, some kind of glass window that has a beautiful halo around it, and his head was positioned perfectly in the halo, and I told him, "Don't move." And I took a photo, I put it on Facebook. I just said, "Honey, you really are a saint." If you had seen it, guys, I'm sorry that I didn't tell them to put it up, because you would just be in awe of what you saw there, but that was Glenn. And the intimacy that I speak about is during his time here in Palm Springs, he had a number of different living situations. Some were really good and some were not so great. And he was in between homes, and I said, "Well, listen, you don't have anywhere to go for a couple of weeks. Why don't you, come and stay with me?" And he was like, "Great, okay." And he goes, "Well, I have one thing I have to tell you." I said, "Well, what's that?" He goes, "Well, I'm always naked." I said, "Oh, thank God, me too." So we were good. We were good. I'm in my boots, so I will say that. But, so this is just the truth, folks. Anyway, so there we were in my apartment, just having, tea, coffee, Prosecco more than likely. And he was going through a little bit of a rough spot. And at one point when he was sharing the feelings he had about a particular breakup, he got really emotional and he started to cry. And here I am in my total naked state, and here he is in his total naked state. And I stood up and I sat down next to him. And this man put his head on my breast and sobbed. And I just have to tell you, it was the most intimate moment of my life. And if you ever get a chance to share that moment with another person, you will know what I'm talking about. It was beautiful, and that was really what he just brought me to the understanding of what love and intimacy and authenticity is really about. So to his family, I feel like I now have a new family, and I'm so grateful to all of you. Denise, his sister-in-law, whose beautiful tribute we saw earlier, she and I have been talking about doing a foundation in Glenn's name, and we will let you know more about that as things develop. But just to the Sukazian and Mears family, I'm grateful for you and grateful to be able to get to know you. Everyone out here, thank you so much. I know Glenn's in the house. I love you. Love you, Glenn.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jill Langham. And like she said, you couldn't keep Glenn's clothes on. Unfortunately, we couldn't see a lot of my photos, but, you know, we worked together a whole lot, and he was happier naked. He felt incredibly comfortable in his skin, and when your skin was that beautiful, who blames you? The next speaker we actually have a photo montage before he's sent ahead. As I mentioned, Tim Wood dropped some pictures in my text, and I created a montage of photos of him, Glenn, family, friends, and a few familiar faces.
To spread my wings, so I could live my life on it. And that's me, it's just me, trust me, you get what you see, that's me. So say it now, every single
Ladies and gentlemen, Glenn's longtime friend, Tim Wood.
Okay, let's get down to the salacious part of this. Hello, I'm Tim Wood. I'm, wow, that last right. I'm one of Glenn's friends. We date back 25 years or so. I'm honored to be here, standing in the presence of his greatness and all his friends, certainly his family, all of the magic that he has produced during his life. I only knew half of it. I was only the last 25 years. I think it's kind of amazing just to see how much stuff we've seen on the screen with his first 25 years. Him as adorable little kid, him in high school, and progressing from there through his music career. And I followed him, picked him up at about 2000. That was just before his adult entertainment stardom hit and his rising pop stardom hit as well. I remember when I first met him, it was through Glenn, through a friend of ours, Gene Hubert. I don't know if any of the crowd remember Gene. a delightful human being who fell in love with every gorgeous man that ever walked in front of his face. When he called me up one day and said, "Oh my God, I met the one," I'm like, "Oh God, here we go again." I said, "Who is it this time?" He said, "This guy named Glenn. He's really cute." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And it turns out we ended up meeting each other at a mutual friend of ours' house, and they walked around the corner, and I was like, okay, yeah. And as has been pointed out by many people that have spoken tonight, he was definitely good looking. There was no doubt about that. So I was starstruck from the beginning. I only, and as I recall Glenn, my phases of Glenn went from starstruck to, wow, he's kind of smart, to, wow, he's really talented. He's like, I can sing. I'm like, and then he sang. I'm like, okay, you can really sing. Okay, so now I get where that comes from. So I was trying to figure out where my thoughts were in the last month. I'm lucky to have as we all are in our lives, family. We're lucky to have spouses. We're lucky to have friends. If you have a BFF, you're lucky to have a bestie. He was a bestie. But beyond that, Glenn was a playmate. I know some of you were thinking, yeah, we know what you mean by that. And I was trying to think about why that word playmate kept coming to mind. Playmates, if you think back to your childhood, what playmates really mean to you. That playmates tend to do things that kind of go along with your bad ideas or uncomfortable ideas at times. And, I think my parents called them shenanigans, right? You don't want to hang out with them and their shenanigans, right? Oh, he was a shenanigan player. I'm sure all of you are well aware of the shenanigans of Glenn. We've seen examples of it up on the screen tonight and the stories that were told. I think back to shenanigans with Glenn and where that took me and where it took us. My thoughts go back to the white party back in 20 years ago when it was huge. Back in the papier-mâché dive in the pool days, right? I remember being late in the evening after one of the pool parties, and I was asleep in one of the rooms, one of my friends' room in a host hotel. Well, he was bored, and so he needed an outlet. There was shenanigan time, and as a rising young adult entertainment star, he thought, I'm going to go have a good time. So he took off down the hallway of the hotel, knocking on doors. And when he would have this unsuspected individual open that door, he would say, "Did you order a porn star?" That was met with anywhere from shock to, some of the guys were like, "Oh my God, this is fun." And away he went. He would go in there, have a cocktail, have a drink with him. They would dance around, and the party continued on and on. So just an example of the crazy shenanigans. I have some of these stories that could go on for hours, but I remember one shenanigan night with my new boyfriend at Magnitude in San Francisco, another circuit party. That as circuit parties goes, they're always not the most, sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not. That night we got there with Glenn, wasn't that great. And so he decided that, he said, "Wait here." I'm like, okay. And off he went into the crowd. And about 5 minutes later, we noticed him mingling with different people in the crowd around the dance floor. And after a few minutes, he finally got back to us with an entourage. We're like, "Well, who's all these people?" He's like, "Well, this party's no fun, so all these people are going to come with us, and we're going to make our own party." Shenanigans. When it talks about acceptable and normal behavior, playmates tend to get you in trouble. They tend to come up with ideas of things that, "Oh, that sounds fun, let's do that." As has been alluded to by several people in the audience, as you've seen up here, the man didn't wear clothes when he wasn't in public. He and I shared that proclivity for minimalism. And of late, when he got to Palm Springs, he and I developed a love affair of going on bicycle rides. So if you've ever been around after late at night in the south end of town and seen two individuals on beach cruisers at 10 o'clock at night, strangely unclothed, yeah, shenanigans, playmates and shenanigans. One of those ended in a very comical way last night. I'm going to absolutely thrill the audience by telling you something utterly ridiculous. There we were on our bicycle ride, and I was like, okay, I'm tired. I want to go home. It's late. And I went home, went to bed. He's like, I'm going to stay out and I'm going to go keep biking for a little bit longer. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I get home, go to bed. About an hour later, front door, somebody knocked on the front door. I bolt up out of bed. I'm like, oh my God. I go running to the front door, and there's a light like this, like the spotlight shining on me. And I peer through, and there's a police officer standing at our front door. He said, are you Tim Wood? I'm like, yes, who's asking? She says, do you know Glenn Sakazian? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God, is he okay? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, why are you here? She says, can you come with me? I'm like, sure. So I reach into my drawer and pull out the tiniest pair of shorts that I have. I go climb in our convertible, thinking that, oh my God, he's off somewhere and he's got himself into trouble. And I'm thinking to myself the worst. And I get in the car and pull out of the driveway behind the police car, and she manages to drive about 500 feet to the end of our street, where she stops. I'm like, well, what the? And I look over the side of the road, and apparently, while he was out biking alone, a concerned citizen noticed that he was out biking solo and not dressed appropriately for the evening, even though it's summertime in Palm Springs, where the temperature was about 95 at that point. And they called the police department out of extreme concern. And there he was, as I turned the corner 20 seconds after leaving my house, there he is, sitting on a curb in a garbage bag. And I thought, I didn't know what to say. And as I pulled up my car and in front of him, I said, that is the ugliest outfit I have ever seen you with. He looked at me, he's like, child, get me out of here. Shenanigans. To say the least, it all turned out okay. And the police department has grown to see us many times. Not was the only time. And they apparently were not the only people in Palm Springs to take our clothes off and go running around at night. So welcome to Palm Springs. If you're not used to that. Glenn was not challenged about what he wanted to say to people. He was at times brutally honest, at times necessarily honest. He had a use of language that I admired. His ability to drop an F-bomb in every situation, in every location we ever were, was amazing. He needed to say something to me years ago, something that saved my life. A playmate, my bestie, had to use some strong language to me to get me to understand that I was on a wrong path, and he helped save my life. So he wasn't just a bestie. You know, besties say great things. Playmates, besties, whatever you want to call them, they use strong language when they need to. They don't need to make errors. They come to your assistance when they need to. So I was appreciative of the fact that he was willing to confront me at that time and make a difference in my life. As you kind of heard tonight, the thing that made Glenn, was this unique ability to make everyone feel so special. I was amazed at how many times that he would make me feel special at times where I didn't really think that I would even be part of the conversation around him. And when we met Cyndi Lauper, when we met the B-52s, Fred Schneider and the B-52s, it was, hi, here's my friend Tim. I was just kind of like part of the gang, and it was like he acted like I knew them my entire life. He made me feel special. It was an amazing thing in my life that it was something that I will always treasure about him. His ability to see a situation, to add levity to it, to make people feel special. My thoughts go to a recent pool party here in Palm Springs, where a lovely member of our community, a couple, now one of them is unfortunately in a wheelchair for mobility, and Glenn took the opportunity to make that individual in that wheelchair feel special. It was a clothing optional pool party, and this person, of course, in the wheelchair did not have the ability to participate in that part of the event like the rest of us did. So Glenn made sure that he felt welcome, and at one point climbed up on top of the wheelchair to give the individual in the wheelchair a closer look at stardom. To the very end, he made people feel special. I will never forget how special he's made me feel my entire life. I have so many stories and so many crazy ones where we felt special, and you can see in the audience tonight just how magical that ability he had to literally put himself aside, set aside his own stardom, set aside his own starlight, and make you hear what you have to say, hear what your family, your friends have to say. He made you feel special. So for all the amazing years that I had with him, I will never forget how amazing he was to me and how special he made me, my friends, my family, my husband, and all of us in this audience feel absolutely special. So thank you.
Thank you, Tim Wood. And we have one final video tribute we're going to play, I hope, Doug.
Hit it.
I want to spend this time to send my condolences to Glenn's family and friends. What a hard loss it was for all of us. I do want to share a story about our last conversation where, I'm turning 40 at the end of June, and Glenn actually, he was at one of the stores that I modeled for, and I had a jock strap on, and he seen my 40-year-old ass, what he called it, and he showed me a picture of him at 40, naked. So showed me his ass. That was like one of the last conversations we had. So I was going to say he will be missed. We love Glenn. He was a wonderful person. And not only did, we miss, Glenn physically, but it's going to be hard emotionally for a lot of us. So
my name is Brian.
He was a great person, good friend.
I
And
met Glenn about 2 years ago when he did a show at Oscars. The following week, I asked him to be my trainer. I soon found out that Glenn was encouraging and patient. At first, during those short rest breaks between sets, we'd make small talk. I felt heard, and there was no judgment. Over time, I'd share more about my life, and he'd share about his. Given his film, TV, and music career, I was pleasantly surprised as to how down-to-earth, warm, and vulnerable he was. Glenn was a talented man who was kind and had a zest for life. Because of him, I have grown both physically and emotionally. I am grateful for the 2 years that I've known him.
Colton and I met at the gym, but I knew who he was from way back in the day when he was with Peace Biscuit, with Caswell and Amanda Lepore and Alternate. I always looked up to him. And so when I moved out to Palm Springs and met him at Steel Gym, we started vibing. We would have these sessions where I would go over to his house and he would put together a whole charcuterie board, and we have a little bubbly, and we would listen to each other's music or past projects, things we were inspired to work on in the future. And then once I heard the song that he had, it was called Live. And I was like, Papa, this is still a hit. And a little over a year ago, we started to rework that song together. We finished that song 2 days before he passed. And I am honored to be a part of the last piece of art he ever created, and to be a part of the legacy of somebody who I loved so dearly, who was just so cool.
All right, we've come to the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. But before we do, we have to do a couple quick thank yous. Thank you to Gary Powers of the Revolution Theater, the Revolution Stage Company, for giving us immediately the theater when he heard about Glenn's passing. We outgrew it because Glenn was so beloved by so many people. So we were very grateful to Michael Green of the Palm Springs Cultural Center, who generously opened his doors and turned on that AC up to high for us today. Also his technical team, Eric and Charles in the booth. We've got, oh my God, this is so special. On sound, Bill Loins. I think I'm saying your name wrong. I'm so sorry. I love you. Bill was the sound man for Colton's final solo show, and he's here tonight doing the sound. Video, Doug Graham, making all these beautiful videos work, and also putting the whole show together for us. Our stage manager, John Mark, come out and take a bow. You sexy boy. On Spotlight, we got Laura Stern. Thank you, Laura. Oh! Brandon Sincata provided the gorgeous altar outside and the flowers. Please go there, enjoy it, and grab some of Colton's memorabilia to take home with you. Matthew King, the wine chemist who provided our charcuterie board and all of the tasty treats that are upstairs in the bar. Please join us for a reception up there. We can take photos, we can laugh, we can cry, and enjoy those tasty treats. There's a full bar up there too. God, I'm showing my age. Alan Carvalho and the Kai brothers for filming and putting together all those interviews of his beloved clients. Club Card Printing for the fine art prints of Colton. Mark Nelson for doing the tickets. Our fitness tribute cast, everyone who sent in a video. And the volunteers, all of the volunteers. Brent, Danny, Brooke, Fernando, and most importantly, Randy Fullerton. Oh my God, he's been treating me like I'm Mariah fucking Carey all day. Haven't had to lift a finger. It's been amazing. So please make some noise and give some love to all these amazing, generous people. This would not have happened. It would have been a potluck at the community center if it wasn't for all these amazing people. And most importantly, all of you. Now let's take this show out with a bang. Enjoy. Please welcome to the stage the Desert Blackers.
Yeah, baby. You feeling this? Right on. Check it out. Come on, give it to me. Oh yeah.
All right, baby.
Can you feel it?
Yes, boy. Sing it, boy.
collaborator Honey Davenport.
You know that, honey.
And Stephen Michael. Let's get that volume up. And Glenn's Curious Early collaborators, Debbie and Phil. Thank you all so much for coming. We look forward to seeing some of you in the bar upstairs. Thank you. We love you, Colton. My name is Stephen Michael. We're can't believe that this happened. Woo! Baby, we did this. Yes. To the family, we love you.
Every day, in every way, been trying to make it count. Keep on rolling on, keep on staying strong, wondering if it ever will give way.
look into the window of my mind, reflections of the fears I know I've left behind. I step out of the ordinary. I can feel my soul ascending. I'm on my way, can't stop me now, and you can do the same, yeah. What have you done today to make you feel proud? It's never too late to try. What have you done today to make you feel proud?
Since you've been away, I've been down and lonely. Since you've been away, I've been thinking of you, trying to understand the reason you left me. What were you going through? I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. As I look around, I see things that remind me. Just to see a smile made my heart feel with joy. I still recall all those dreams we shared together. Where did you run to, boy? I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. Since you've been away, I've been down and lonely. Since you've been away, I've been thinking of you, trying to understand the reason you left me. What were you going through? I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. As I look around, I see things that remind me. Just to see a smile made my heart feel with joy. I still recall